How can Raducanu close gap on top players? There is some solace for Emma Raducanu following another brutal Grand Slam exit. All four of her defeats at this year's major tournaments have come against the world's leading stars, who Raducanu believes have extra motivation to beat her. On Friday, the British number one claimed just 3 games as she was demolished by 2022 Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina in the US Open third round. That followed similar one-sided defeats by 6-time major champion Iga Swiatek at the Australian Open and French Open, although Raducanu did test world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka at Wimbledon before falling in straight sets. I think when the very top players play against me, they have a point to prove that they're at the top, and they're there for a reason, said 36th-ranked Raducanu, who recently appointed Rafael Nadal's ex-coach Francisco Roig. I think every time I've played one, they've kind of shown that. So while I'm improving, doing better, gaining maybe some more respect around, I think the top have definitely raised their game. So, with the Grand Slams over for another season, how does Raducanu close the gap over the coming months? Continue good work with Nadal's ex-coach. The revolving door of coaches employed by Raducanu since her US Open win has brought intense scrutiny. Raducanu likes to learn and once put her high turnover of coaches down to asking provoking questions of them. The recent appointment of Roig, a wily Spaniard who helped Nadal win each of his 22 Grand Slam titles, feels like a longer-term bet. According to those with inside knowledge of working with him, the 57-year-old Catalan has a technical knowledge which is unparalleled. The plan remains for the pair to work together until the end of the season. It's only been 3 weeks, but it's been a pretty successful 3 weeks in a sense that we've made good improvements, said Raducanu, who plans to return to competitive action when the Asian hardcourt swing starts next month. Today my weaknesses were highlighted, but he can't really work miracles. Former British number 1 Annabel Croft thinks it is already clear that Roig is an excellent appointment. He is very tactical, very demanding, and very vocal, said Croft, who watched Raducanu's defeat as part of the BBC Radio 5 live commentary team. I think she likes that and she will respond to it. You couldn't get better than someone who has worked with such a great champion for a number of years. Raducanu's serve has become a more potent weapon over the season, illustrated by the way she did not drop serve in her opening 2 matches in New York. But her first serve percentage dropped alarmingly against Rybakina and she was punished severely. Developing my serve is important, it has got better but I think it can be even better, said Raducanu. The ball after the serve as well, so I'm ready for a fast return, that's where I have some big work to do. Once I'm in the rally I feel okay, but against Elena I barely felt I was in a rally. Starting the point is extremely important at that level. Add more consistency to climb rankings. Raducanu came into the New York encounter against Rybakina riding a wave of optimism. A productive season, where she has spent more time on court and looked increasingly resilient, has put her on the verge of climbing back into the world's top 30. Raducanu's ranking has not been higher since September 2022, when her mountain of points for winning the US Open fell off. But she fell just short of earning a seeding at Flushing Meadows, which left her open to facing a highly ranked player early in the draw. I've lost to Iga twice, Aryna, and Elena, so it's tough, Raducanu said. But at the same time, that's where I'm at with my ranking. I can play top opponents in the first, second, or third round. So I've just got to do my best in the next few months until Australia to just keep working to try and close the gap. Twice pushing Sabalenka, taking her to 3 sets in Cincinnati less than a month after their Wimbledon meeting, were further signs of encouragement. However, the chastening defeat by world number 9 Rybakina, who hit the Briton off court with a flurry of excoriating winners, was a reminder of how she still needs to improve. It meant Raducanu has now won just 3 of her 18 career matches against top 10 opponents. Depending on the day, depending on how we match up, I think I'm getting better overall, she said. I think I'm improving for sure in the last few months. I just need to keep consistent and put this one behind. Cope better with power players. Raducanu's defeat was another example of how her game can struggle to hold up against the power players. While she was able to push Sabalenka in Cincinnati, Raducanu was helped by an erratic performance from her opponent and a lack of consistent examination. The 26-year-old Kazakh only landed 47% of her first serves, but when she did they were effective, winning 81% of those points, and claimed 63% of her second serve points. In the baseline exchanges, Raducanu was regularly pinned back behind the baseline in defensive positions and unable to drag Rybakina out to the wings. Against top players, you have to have your strategy right from the start of the match, American former world number 6 Chanda Rubin, also analyzing for 5 Live, said. If you get behind or start trying to figure out in real time how to play them, it is so difficult because everything is against you. Raducanu isn't going to be a huge hitter, but I think she could have gone bigger and taken more risks. To improve her ability to cope with pace, Croft believes Raducanu might benefit from practice sessions between tournaments with male opponents. I once had the privilege of training with Steffi Graf and she did all of her training with blokes. Everything was coming at her so fast, hard and flat, said Croft. I don't know how much Raducanu trains with men, but when you see her not coping with the pace of a shot, it makes me think that all of her training has to be done with power players.